that feeling that you're kind of playing a part, just to keep everything running smoothly? Well, today we're going to dive into that exact feeling. We're talking about the hidden emotional price we pay when we're constantly putting everyone else's comfort before our own truth.
We all have one, right? It's that version of us we show the world. At work, with family, even with some of our friends. It's our public face.
Yeah, that's the one. The one who doesn't rock the boat. The person who's always agreeable, always understanding, who just never makes things complicated.
But come on, that's not the whole picture, is it? Because there's this other part of you, the one that doesn't always get an invitation to the party.
And this is the one, the part that bites its tongue, that feels everything so deeply but has learned, somehow, that its voice isn't quite as welcome. And it's this inner split that we're really going to get into today. So let's actually break this down. We're talking about this split, this duality. On one side, you've got the person you project. On the other, the person you quietly protect. Okay, and this slide just lays it all out so perfectly. Look at the welcomed you. It's easy, understanding, simple. This is the you that gets the invite back. But then look at the other side. The quiet you is doing all this heavy lifting internally, replaying conversations over and over, trying to explain away why something hurt, staying put when all it wants is space. See, it stays quiet because somewhere down the line, it learned that being welcomed just felt a whole lot safer than being real. So how in the world does this gap get so big? I mean, it doesn't just happen one day. No, it's built from thousands and thousands of tiny little decisions to just keep the peace. Do any of these sound familiar? I bet they do. These are the little stories we whisper to ourselves. It's not worth bringing up. I don't want to be dramatic. And look, sometimes maybe that's true, but a lot of the time, we're just tired. We're exhausted from having to defend our feelings before they're even allowed to take up space. So it's easier to just let it go. And you can see exactly how this escalates, right? It all starts with just one moment. One time you decide to let something slide. But then that choice, it turns into a habit. And that habit, over time, solidifies into a pattern. And that pattern becomes something so much heavier. And this right here, this is the heart of it. The person who's really being betrayed in this whole cycle of keeping the peace, it isn't anyone else. It's you. Every single time you swallow what you need to say, you're sending a little message to yourself that your feelings, your truth, they just don't matter as much. And the self-betrayal, it's not some loud, dramatic explosion. Its cost is quiet. It's a slow, creeping accumulation of feelings that, honestly, can be really hard to put a name to. It usually starts as this low-grade irritation, You might feel annoyed and not even really know why. It's not a big blow-up. It's more like a slow burn of resentment building just under the surface of that easygoing smile. And eventually, that quiet resentment starts to find its voice. It starts asking these little questions inside your head, like this one. You start to notice this subtle, nagging feeling that things are kind of imbalanced. Then the questions get a little sharper, a little more personal. You begin to see that the care you pour out so freely isn't really flowing back your way. And man, that stings. You're the one who always remembers the little things, who always reaches out. But your phone isn't exactly ringing with that same energy. And this leads to the deepest ache of all, this profound loneliness. You can be in a room packed with people who absolutely adore the version of you that you show them, and yet you feel completely, totally alone, because nobody in that room knows the real you is struggling. Ultimately, this is the final heartbreaking cost. You feel invisible, and it's not because people don't care about you. It's because they can't. They've only ever met the you that's always okay, the you that never asks for too much. People can't meet needs they have no idea even exist. So what does all this really boil down to? It's not a weakness. It's not some flaw in your character. It's a deeply human conflict between two things we all need. Just look at this table. It lays out the silent bargains you've been making with yourself. Every time you chose peace, you might have been sacrificing your truth. You chose connection, maybe at the expense of honesty. And the big one, you chose being liked over the much scarier, but so much more rewarding experience of being truly known. And let's be absolutely clear on this. This struggle is not a sign that you are weak. It is a genuine, difficult conflict. Part of you desperately wants to be seen for who you really are. But the other part is terrified of disrupting that carefully built version of you that for so long has made you feel safe and accepted. It's a really painful place to be stuck. So, where do you go from here? The path forward doesn't start with some big, scary confrontation with someone else. It starts with something much quieter. It starts with honest acknowledgement of your own experience.
Just take a second and sit with these. You don't have to have the answers right now. Just let them land. Where are you pretending? What did you let go of that really, really needed to be heard? Where have you hidden yourself? And what's that one truth you've been avoiding because you're scared of what might happen next?
And that brings us right here to the final, most important question. This isn't about blaming anyone else. It's about taking a gentle, honest look inside. Where, in this noble, well-intentioned mission to keep the peace for everybody else, have you forgotten to keep the peace with yourself?